You woke up this morning and proceeded to stay in bed for an extra 30 minutes, scrolling through your phone. When you reluctantly decide to get up and eat breakfast, you pour the milk in the bowl first and then add the cereal. Both of these are symptoms of poor sleep, along with a bad mood, increased weight gain, lower testosterone, and increased susceptibility to depression. But don't stress about it, because it will only make the problem worse. Instead, I'll give you all the actionable steps you should be taking, which if applied properly, will eliminate your ability to stress about it, as you will be asleep. To waste no more time, I'll start with the basic things you should be doing during the day to prime the body for sleep in the evening. First of which is exercise. The National Sleep Foundation ran an annual poll finding that those who exercise 3 or more times a week were shown to have a far greater sleep quality and ability to fall into sleep than those who exercise once a week or less. This can be as short as a 30-minute session in a day, for younger adults reaching 80 to 90% of their maximum heart rate. As you get older, the workouts can get less intense and still be able to receive the full benefits. Even if the exercise is not this intense, it is still infinitely better than doing none at all, with a lower intense exercise like yoga being able to provide similar effects. Regularity is also key. You can't gain all the benefits just by exercising for 1 week. You should notice a difference, but the effects will compound over time, allowing you to truly maximize the results. This is something many of us fall prey to, although you'll be glad to hear that it may not be a bad thing. There are just a couple of guidelines. The first of which can be explained with why we actually feel tired in the first place. As we go through the day, we are gradually producing more and more of a chemical called adenosine, which brings on the feeling of tiredness. And when levels are high, it makes it very easy to fall asleep. However, when we nap, the buildup of sleep pressure brought on by the adenosine is released, resetting our levels. Thus, we are no longer tired after a nap. If this is done too near to your actual bedtime, you can see how this can be problematic. To avoid these negative effects, try and have a nap about 4 to 6 hours before you need to go to bed for the night. NASA actually found that napping for 26 minutes led to a 34% improvement in task performance and over 50% better overall alertness. This discovery led to the creation of the NASA nap culture through all their terrestrial workers, almost encouraging employees to sleep on the job. Now it's the evening, and you need to start thinking about winding down. The routine that I have found to be the best for sleep, which has literally worked every single time in getting me asleep and staying asleep. Just over an hour before bed, I dim all the lights, close the blinds, wash my face, and brush my teeth. I then listen to a podcast for 30 minutes whilst doing some calm stretches. Then I will read for 25 minutes, ideally something that is not too thought-provoking. I will finally do some kind of mindfulness exercise like meditation for the last 5 minutes, and then go to sleep. From that point, it doesn't usually take me any more than 10 minutes to fall asleep, and I consider myself to have bad sleep genetics, so if you think it won't work for you, I really encourage you to give it a try first. You will be so grateful you did when you wake up in the morning. I have almost completely cut out watching any telly in the evenings, so it has freed up enough time so I can spend an hour on my wind down routine. The only time I look at a screen in that hour is when I put a podcast on at the very beginning, which takes about 20 seconds to do. If you don't have an hour to set aside, try at least half an hour of no screens and some low stimulation activity. It is very important that your room is dark in doing so as to produce more melatonin. To maximize this, invest in some blackout blinds, wear a sleep mask, or this one is going to sound weird, but it will help. Whilst you're winding down before bed and you can't make your room dark enough, a quick fix is to wear a pair of sunglasses in the meantime. Try and keep the time you wake up and the time you go to sleep as regular as possible, even on weekends, as your body is a creature of habit and will thank you for it in the long run. To fall asleep, your body must reduce its core temperature by around 1 degree Celsius, hence why it is easier to fall asleep in a cold room than a hot room. Some things you can do to help with this, starting with the most obvious, would be to turn the aircon on to about 16 to 18 degrees Celsius, which is roughly equal to 61 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. You can also wear a pair of socks in bed to help, which may seem counterintuitive. However, as this causes blood to rise to the surface around your body in order to maximize heat loss, due to blood being warm, the closer to the skin it is, a greater amount of heat gets emitted. As the temperature of your feet may not decrease, it will cause your core body temperature to fall, which is the one that matters the most. Similarly, a warm bath or shower have the same effects before bed, so when you get out, your body is trying to rapidly cool you down, causing your core body temperature to plummet. The same way you need to lower your core body temperature to get to sleep, you in contrast have to heat it by around 1 degree Celsius in order to wake up feeling more refreshed. In order to do this, try and set your aircon to go on 30 minutes before your alarm to increase the room temperature to 21 degrees Celsius or 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't eat a large meal before bed, as you will find it much harder to fall asleep in the first place, along with it being likely to cause you to wake up in the middle of the night with lots of energy. As for what foods you should eat before bed, which could be incorporated into your wind-down routine, almonds have been shown to improve sleep quality as a source of the hormone melatonin, further providing an excellent source of magnesium, providing almost 20% of your daily intake in a single ounce, which can further improve sleep quality. One study that fed rats 400 milligrams of almond extract each night found that those rats would sleep longer and more deeply than they did without consuming almond extract. Chamomile tea has also shown to boost sleep, with a 2011 study finding that those who consume 270 milligrams of chamomile extract twice daily for a month fell asleep 15 minutes faster and reported improved sleep quality than non-tea drinkers. Kiwis also have a similar effect. With a study of 24 adults over a 4-week time period, they would eat 2 kiwis before bed each night and fell asleep 42% faster than they would if they hadn't eaten anything before bed, with their sleep time increasing by 13% in addition. Alcohol is something that should be avoided and is misunderstood by many, as it feels like it helps you get to sleep faster, when unfortunately, this is not the case. Alcohol puts you under sedation, not sleep. Sedation completely switches your brain off, whereas in real sleep, your neurons are working together to bring about positive changes in your mind and body through each of the sleep stages, and therefore should not be completely switched off. Alcohol further blocks REM sleep, also known as dream sleep, being a stage that helps with learning, memory, creativity, and regulating your mood and testosterone. When you are not sleeping, try and stay out of your bed completely, or better yet, stay out of your bedroom completely. Although this one can be harder, especially if you work in your bedroom, but the idea is to make your brain associate sleep with your bedroom, so when you go to sleep your mind knows exactly what to do. In particular, you want to avoid watching TV in bed, as your brain will associate it with being awake. If you wake up in the night and can't get back to sleep, keep lights low and leave your bed to read a book or do something else that has little stimulation, on the sofa or somewhere else. Then when you feel tired again, go back to bed. It is also a good idea to remove any visible clock faces from your bedroom, as can make you more anxious. If you have an alarm clock, just turn it around. Finally, don't start counting sheep to fall asleep. It doesn't work and can just make your brain more activated and awake. Instead, Professor Alison Harvey recommends taking an imaginary walk somewhere you know well, imagining the whole journey and all the things you would pass on that route, such as along a beach or walking down your road. As a quick bonus, if you sleep badly one night, try not to do anything about it. Don't have a lie-in or try to nap any more than you otherwise would, as you can just further mess up your routine you have built, making it harder to sleep the next night as a consequence. If you want to research into sleep at greater depth, I recommend the book Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, which I will leave linked down below.